All right, welcome back. It is The Dish on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. And we're talking moving out of your parents' home or your parents' apartment. And it was from the story of a 21-year-old that was a 21-year-old lady that was telling her siblings that they should leave her place because she cannot take care of them anymore. It's about 3 of them. And that's took us into at what age should you move out of your parents' apartment?
House, yeah.
I do not think that it's too early to move out at 21. I think that if you can afford it and you find a comfortable place, you can move out. Because do you know what 21-year-olds are doing? Like the strides
Right
they're
now.
achieving in some other places. I read stories online and sometimes I look at myself like, or is that you're growing older? Like this person is way younger, and
Yeah, but you
Has
also
achieved this.
realize that those are also some special circumstances. Because I would agree with what Chizoba said. The average 21-year-old, even in the United States, they still stay with their parents.
And that's because they cannot afford to get their own
or they are renting with
apartments.
roommates, and not just one or two. Sometimes you get because like. I've been told this thing where it's like if you were in another country at 18, you'd have already moved out.
so
or
that's
you'd
why I
be paying
hinged
the
it on.
rent.
If I can afford it, I don't see any other reason why I shouldn't. If I know that I can afford it and I
The
can,
major reason why a lot of persons are still at home is just because they are not financially
Yeah, they are not
stable.
financially stable.
Honestly,
They
I
don't
want
I want to
have
ask
the
you, how
money.
many millionaires, how many billionaires do you know that their kids are in the same city with them, staying on their own? Because you know why? You know why? Because most of these things, like I know that yes, sometimes when I speak, I come off as I don't know, maybe I come off a certain way, but then I like to be very factual, right? And so that's why I'm saying that a fully functional home, everyone stays together, especially here in Africa, especially given
is it
our
a function
culture.
of functionality or that
Necessity.
communal sense of let's all
That's
be
what I said,
together?
I
don't think- I don't think it's always about
yes, the communal sense is there,
Dysfunctional.
but then it's also a function of dysfunctionality.
What is the function? What is
What's the dysfunctionality
what is-
you're
yeah,
talking
Yes,
what is
so
about?
let me give you
dysfunctionality
dysfunctionality
in particular?
In particular,
Mhm.
number one, your parents are not doing well. Where your parents are staying, it's a place that you feel is not befitting for whatever life that you want to live. And so, yeah, I'm giving you reasons why people move out. And so,
Okay.
because of that reason, you can decide that I want to move out because it's not befitting with whatever social stature or whatever imagination I have in my head. That's one. The second
So
one.
is that not a good reason to move out?
Is it?
The second one is that I would just jump over that. The second one is that the parents are toxic. And toxic in such a way that the parents are always saying, get out of my house, move out of my house. What are you doing here? Your mates are married. They are
Your mates are
insulting
doing
you.
this, yeah.
They are running down your mental state. And in that
If you're in
situation,
another country.
and in that situation, if I was your auntie, right, I would say, move into my house. I have a BQ. Come and stay there. Have your own entrance and your own exit and all. Or maybe you feel that your parents are giving you coffee. Imagine giving a child who is 30 coffee of you must be in this house by 9 o'clock, right? So I think those are the reasons why people move out. And then another reason is that you had a target that you wanted to get married at maybe 26. Everyone in your church, everyone on the street, they are married at 26. Then you want to move out. And then another reason why people really move out, especially young girls, is that maybe you have a sponsor who is saying, I want to be spending more time with you and I don't want to stay. I can't be coming to your parents' house and come and be staying in the car. And then you
Why-
come with me.
Or you can't
While
even be saying
I'm
things
not
like
going
I need
to-
to go home.
Yes,
because
While
you
I'm
can't
not
say
going
that.
to
That is
speak,
calling me.
while I'm not going to speak to the last point, the other point you made, aren't there good reasons to want to move out?
If you feel there are good reasons,
I mean,
then
why
there are good
should a
reasons.
person remain in a place, especially when he or she can afford to move out?
Yeah, that was her argument that those are signs of dysfunctionality that will make you want to move out. But not necessarily that you should, or not necessarily that it's the right thing to do so.
I don't know.
You mean it's not the right thing to do, moving out at 21?
Exactly. What is wrong about it?
See,
If you've checked all those boxes and
Mhm.
you're fully okay and responsible, you can't move out at 21, even if you have something legit you're doing.
Personally, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. If you can, you want to, cool.
No, yeah, I'm posing this question.
But now she's
saying
that that's not the
as a therapist. As a
so
therapist, you know what I'll tell you.
Let's forget.
No.
Wait,
as a therapist,
we
can't forget it because that's one of the foundation of what I do. So
let's forget dysfunctionality or the fact that those reasons. Let's forget them. I can afford to move out. I have the money. I have a good job at 21. Why shouldn't I move out?
No. So I'll ask you why.
I just gave the reason I can afford it.
Then why?
Is that not enough reason?
You can afford it. Why?
Why can I afford it?
No,
because I'm working.
No. Why do you want to move out?
Why do you want to move out?
I just said I want to move out because I can afford to.
By the time we ask you why, like it's because this is a therapy space. If we sit in a therapy space and I ask you the first why, and then you answer, your answer gives me the second why.
I don't think it's fair.
By the time we move to the why, let me tell you, by the time we move to the why, you will find out that it's a deep-seated issue that is making you want to move out. Now, I don't have a problem with you moving out. If you say you want to move out, fine. You don't want to move out, fine. Anything you say is fine. But then I would ask you,
I don't think
why.
there has to be an issue.
No.
In a situation where there are no issues.
So I'll ask you why you want to move out. There may be no issues, but you want to move out because you feel that everybody at your age is moving out.
No, like I just want to.
Where there are no issues,
okay,
I just want to.
Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that just woke up and no reason they said they want to just move out of their parents' house?
That's what you
I have a question.
The problem here, I feel you're not seeing 21
as
to be an adult to move out.
Because if I can afford it, why shouldn't I?
That's what I'm saying. 21, you want to move out, right? You have a good job because if you finish school early, right? You finish your NYSC 21, you have a job, right? You want to move out. And some people that are also doing that same job
there are
with you,
students
they are paying maybe they have children in school and all. So that's not an issue. But then I want to ask you, why do you feel a certain need of independence that you want to move out? So it's not
necessary. Again, let me say this, Chizoba. There are students who went to school, started living alone and never came back home.
Yes.
And even
why?
They never came back home and that was their gateway to independence. It doesn't mean there's an issue.
You just said a word. You just said a word. You just said a word. You just said a word.
Is there anything wrong with wanting to be independent?
You just said a word. Gateway to independence.
Is there anything wrong with that?
You just said the word gateway to independence. Okay. Now I want you to understand something. I'm not saying move out, don't move out. That's not even the bigger picture for me. My issue is the root of the issue of the problem,
which is
moving out is just one of the manifestations. It's not the problem.
Moving
out is the manifestation. Moving out is the manifestation. You know, the same way you just see the fruit and you say this is an orange. So that's a manifestation. Now that's why I said it depends on the person. So I have to sit with the person to find out why.
Okay, this is me now. I'm 21. And I feel I'm independent. I just want to move out. I need my space. I'm an adult now, and I want to take up some personal responsibility.
And that's
like what? Like personal. So no. You said to
I think the more you try to dig deeper, you just want to find a problem. Jane wanted to say something. Let's have Jane. Let's have Jane.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, at what age did you actually move out of your parents' house? Like, I'm asking you guys now, since you're all like 21 isn't, so, or what age did you move out of your parents' house?
Exactly. Patricia, what age did you move out of
did you personally?
I think I moved out at 25.
25, why?
Why?
Because I could afford it at the time.
No, why?
That's the reason.
Because you could afford it.
There were no issues.
Your parents stay in Lagos.
Why? There were no issues.
No. Do your parents stay in
My parents were in Lagos at the time. Before
your parents were in Lagos at that time. So don't tell us the particular area, but the distance between where your parents were and where you moved out to. I've talked
about how I work from home and go to my office. So
what I mean is the distance. I'm talking about the distance between where your parents stay and where you got the job. Like how long?
Wait,
like, is it 30 minutes?
Don't ask.
Is it 1 hour?
Don't ask that question you want to ask.
No. I want to ask how far.
This is not a therapy session.
No.
If you're having a therapy session, you can't.
It's not a therapy session.
Because we're working with time. Ask the question.
How far was?
Why do you want to know how far it is?
No, I just need to know how far.
Why?
How far?
Why do you want to know how far it is?
No, then why are you defensive?
Because I moved out of my parents.
No, do you understand what I'm saying? Because you're telling me that you wanted to move out,
and
you
I told you that I wanted to.
Why
no, you have to tell me why you want to know
how far. So I want to know how far. Because let me tell you why. If your parents are staying somewhere that is 20 minutes walk from where you are staying, and then you tell me that you need space, then I begin to ask, what is going on? No, I'm trying to break it down. Now, if you say that you needed to pick up more responsibility, then I'm wondering how, because I know that when you start working, right?
Okay.
Now, some houses will say, okay, now you're working. What you sit down, you decide that everything in this house, the gas,
it will be your responsibility.
Is my responsibility. You don't even tell your parents anything. By the time they see first month, you filled all the gas. Second month, you filled all the gas. Everybody just knows that, okay, the gas is our responsibility. Some people can just wake up and say, my own responsibility is this.
So, Chizoba, what I'm saying is, which is my point, is that there does not have to be a problem.
I'm not saying there's a problem.
Reason or a dysfunctionality.
Wait, asked the question.
No, this is not about the question you asked me. I'm saying that there doesn't have to be a dysfunctionality for a person to move out. That's what I'm saying.
So, but just to answer your question, okay, when I finished school, okay, I finished at 24, going to 25. When I finished, I wanted to stay back at Owerri, okay, and I called home to say, okay, towards the time I was rounding up with school, I had to go into Nollywood. I felt I wanted to be an actress.
Okay.
Wow. So I said, taking this shoot.
I think you'd have made a good actress.
Yeah.
I said, trying this shoot and all that. Remember, our parents are more, how would I put it? They are modernized.
They are now open. They are now more open to those kind of opportunities.
This was something I was just doing underground there in Owerri. So when I wanted to, they brought up this African Magic Igbo too. And they were like, okay, since it's the beginning of African Magic Igbo, that I can take advantage of it. So I called home. I felt it was official now. I had to call home to say, okay, your daughter.
I can just see the way your parents will send you back home.
Your daughter has finished school. We'll be going for service very soon, but I'm not coming back home. I want to be based in Owerri. And they're like, Isegini, what did you say? I said I want to be based in Owerri. They say, you in Owerri. I said, yes, I've been in Owerri for 6 years, from my pre-degree to 5 years in university, all by myself. So I am capable of staying in Owerri. And my mom was like, you were in Owerri for 6 years all by yourself because you were schooling. Now you're done with school.
Come back home.
Okay. You say you want to become an actress. Which actress is that? Come back home. So they didn't support the acting thing. And I just had to carry my bag. I came home. Now,
if they had supported it, they wouldn't have had a problem with you staying back.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
So when I came back home, okay, I went for my service. After service, I started my business. I started running my business. And somehow I started picking up small. I started doing it at home. Mind you, at home, I had my room to myself because all my elderly ones, they were already out of the house. So space wasn't even the issue. I had my room. But when my business started picking up, I needed space. Okay? So I came out, I think 2 years after my service, I told them I want to move out. Initially they were like, you're a girl. You cannot move out. They will say you are carrying men, you are doing this, you are doing. I said, well, you know me. When I went to Owerri for 6 years, I wasn't this big. I was still a minor, and I was able to stay in Owerri for 6 years, and I'm back home. Now I want to move out, and this is why I want to move out. I do not want to, yes, the business is growing. I do not want to go ahead to get a shop, but I want to get myself an apartment and convert a room in that apartment
and do your stuff in
and then
space.
the sitting room will be the store and all.
So when I said that, they said, okay, fine. Now that you want to take up these responsibilities, how much do you have? So I told, before coming up with that, I already know the money might be a problem. So I saved up. That might just be their reason for discouraging me. So I saved up, and then I told them I could afford an apartment at the first place I stayed was Ajawa Estate. I could afford a room and parlor self-con at Ajawa Estate, So I converted my parlor to my room and made the room my brand, my workspace. Okay, so that was how I moved out. Now, that's why I said.
How old were you then?
Then I was between 26. I was 26 exactly because I finished 24. So I was 26 then. Now, as I'm going by what you said by saying parents who allow their children to move out at 21 is out of dysfunction. Even at 26, I wasn't allowed to move out until I gave them reasons why I needed to move out, and they could see that, you know, even in the house, my things that had to do with my business were already occupying space, right? So I needed to move. But my brothers, immediately they finished school, they didn't come back. They were not questioned. Right? They were not questioned. They just went ahead, you know, started life.
And if we are having like issues with,
not because there is a family issue, not because there's
any dysfunction, and that's what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm asking now, Patricia, let me ask you a question now. Thank God that you've told us how you transitioned out of your parents' house, right? And for me, I see sense in what you have said. Okay, and I know that definitely your parents would have contributed to the moving into the first house. It's not like you just moved out.
Everything,
they would have contributed. All of you would have gone to look for the house together. You people would have secured the area together. You would have ensured that everything was okay. So it wasn't like you moving out. They moved in, and then even when you moved in, I'm sure your mom and your dad from time to time would drop into the house, and they would drop in, and then there were also some rules of you coming back.
So what's the question?
No rule. There wasn't any rule given to
they
me.
Can't give her rules
of you coming. And funny enough, the distance between my first apartment was at Ajawese. My parents' house is at Ago.
Okay.
The distance wasn't so much. When I moved into my second apartment at Jakonde Estate, I go home when I want to. And sometimes when they come to the house, they may not even see me until maybe in the evening, because during the day I go for my deliveries and all that. So
let me say
Patricia's. What I'm saying is that you can't use Patricia's example. You know why? Patricia did not move out because there was a problem.
All right.
She didn't move out because there was a fight.
Now you are.
She didn't move out. No. I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. She didn't move out because there was a fight.
There does not have to be.
She moved out with her parents' cooperation. No.
Okay.
She moved out with her parents' cooperation. Everybody moved together. Your parents contributed to that first house that you moved in, and your parents from time to time will come and check up on you. But when you were moving to the second apartment, they've already monitored you. They have they've kind of been checking everything that you're doing. So when you were moving to the second house, it wasn't a problem.
Because we need to move on from this conversation.
We need to move on from this conversation.
Most people move out with anger.
So what I'm saying is that they does not have
because there was a lay down
situation. No, that's what I'm saying. That your situation is a typical situation of how you can be telling me somebody wants to move out and I do not have a problem.
That's why I said that there does not always have to be a dysfunctionality before somebody moves out. And that's why I said you agree with that, right?
Yeah.
I was saying, which is what I've always said, there does not have to be a dysfunctionality.
But now we're saying that most of the people that do indeed move out is because
how
of
do you determine that?
No, look at her process. Look at her process.
Most of my friends that have moved out,
look at her process.
Out of peer pressure.
How do you determine that?
Dysfunctionality.
And then that aside, if we say that people move out for dysfunctionality or whatever, this same person goes to school and is probably living alone in school outside of his or her parents' watch or something. So the same thing that you're afraid will happen to him or her when he eventually decides to, is there no tendency that will happen while they're in school? Anyway, let's take comments. Chizoba. Chidi from Oshodi says, in Nigeria, the age most people move out is 30 years and over, thanks to corruption. At 21 in Nigeria, most people are still playing chess with jam.
True.
Okay.
Fair enough, yeah.
Omogbai says, my kid is 14 now, and she's been traveling from outside Lagos on her own from the age of 10. I'm not going to be surprised or shocked or block her move if she decides she wants to move out at 21. She has been groomed to be independent from the age of 10. It's because I can't afford to keep her with me, but her life is hers, not mine to disrupt.
Yeah.
Manuel says, good day, Lagos Talks. 21 years is too early because a 21-year-old still needs the wisdom and counsel of the older generation from a close range. Ike says, good afternoon. To me, I don't think any well-to-do family will allow their daughters leave home at 21 unless there is issue or the lady had Dangbana and decided to leave by strong head, at least from 25. With regards to that lady, I'll first hail Tinubu as Mr. Talk and Do. He said he would reduce purchasing power and he did it. The lady must have started having financial issues, or she was having issues with her siblings. If not, I don't think she would do that. But still, that should not be an excuse. We have a number of voice notes as well. Olawale sends a voice note. Hello, Olawale.
Hi, Yuza. Another babes in the studio. How are you guys doing? Listen, I want to ask a question. As someone was saying, 21 years is not too early for a child to leave the house. Now, I want to ask, what's the average age of someone leaving the university? At most, that means if you start early, maybe if you gain admission early, maybe by the age of 16, for a course of 4 years, that means you'll be out at 20. At the age of 20.
Yeah.
By the time you do your service,
21.
That means age of 21. Automatically, you have to work for maybe, let's say, 3-4 years. Although it depends on the kind of job you have. If you have a very fulfilling job, pay good money, and they say 3 years. So you have to work, plan yourself that you want to marry. It's not when you are working immediately that you want to move out. Considering the amount of money you are going to pay on rent. So to me, 21 years is just too early. What does the child know? Even a boy, a girl, apart from being a girl. You see, my daughter, who is even further 29, she's 26 now. When she got a job, I think that should be 3-4 years ago. The office is at Beggar. And my father-in-law lives inside the residential camp. He's the member of the Revenue Council, my father-in-law. It's okay. Instead of you saying you want to rent an apartment around very close to your office, Beggar is not too far from a residential camp. You have to stay near to save some money of saying you want to. When you are ready for marriage, this would grow of God is coming very soon. That one, no, automatically you have to leave. The same with my son. His office is at VI. There was times I want to move closer to the office because he said on the mainland. He said, no. I said, don't bother yourself. I'm the one who is paying the rent. I've never asked you to be contributing anything. Don't need to waste your money. When you are about getting married, yes, you can go and get an apartment. But for now, just save that money. Use the money for something better. Yes, I'm not complaining. Those are even what. Even my son is 29 now. Yes, very soon. When are you coming? So when that time comes, let them go. But for age of 21, that's nada. That's too early. Too early. You finish university at the age of 20. You still want to work for some years before you settle down. So why should it be 21? Yes, you can't just jump into moving out very early immediately you finish university. Or when you are still studying. No. You have to plan yourself. Plan yourself. Even if you are well to do, your parents just can't just leave and say, go. When my children are young, even from secondary, even to university, I will still go with them wherever they are going. It's not that I'm trying to release them little by little. But that's the kind of the way we have to do them when they are going up. My son traveled out to the country maybe about 3 months ago. I should have left him to go. If you are going up now, well, I can have to allow him to go to the airport on your own. Go and board your flight. But I went with him. Yes, and I was there until the flight took off. So I have to monitor. They say disturb monitoring. My parents never left me. Even I feel very, very close. So I have to leave myself because you are 21. You can do whatever you like. No, there should be some close monitoring. Yes, don't say because you are adults or whatever. Someone says, you are adult, you can do things on your own. No. And I say, no. Although they are adults, but still have to give them that close monitoring. Put them through. God help us all. So there should be time of everything. At least 25 is okay for me.
All right. Thank you for your message, Olawale.
25 is actually fair.
We have another voice note here. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies. Welcome for a great show. If a child at age 21 is making good money and they are not thinking of moving out of their parents' home, that should be a great call for concern. That itself signify a dysfunctionality of some form. It means such a child has developed unhealthy bond with his or her family. What are you talking about? Why would you not want to go out when you can afford to finance it? You see, I was just praying to get to college. As soon as I left college, I said goodbye to home. Yeah, not that my home was dysfunctional. No, I came from a fantastic home, but I tasted freedom, and I realized it is good to be free from a Nigerian mother. A boss of my own, a man of my own, and I've been exploring life ever since that time, and I've never had one single reason to regret. Yeah, the time we live in, a lot of people still stay at home, largely because of the cost of living. But if you are 21 out there, terrible. Even if you're 18 or 19 out there, you are making cool money. From 18, begin to make your exit plan, because when you are by yourself, it helps you go stronger, it helps you go energetical, and it helps you to grow. You see, black parents, you still want people to be cooking food for you at age 21? I'm gonna get out there, John.
Thank you for your voice notes, Remy. Okay, I think we've taken all the messages. Meanwhile, you can join the conversation 0809 234 5913 0809 234 5913. You can send us messages, voice notes, as well as call on WhatsApp. Otherwise, you can call into the studio 0704 700 8913 0704 700 9913 and 0704 100 7913. You can also call the WhatsApp number, actually. That's 0809 234 5913.